Hi, this is the help video for Access Chapter 3, Prepare Case, the Turquoise Oasis Spa Data Management. This is for Part A. So the Prepare Case for Chapter 3 has 3 different parts that you will complete in pieces and submit that part to get grade. So there's a Part A, a Part B, and a Part C. This is about Part A. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to download the files necessary for this assignment. So download and download. So all there is the instruction file and then the Access database file that we're going to go ahead and we're going to say keep. We're going to open up the instruction file and we're going to open up the Access file and put them side by side. Okay, so I have the instructions on the left, my database open on the right. I'm going to go ahead and enable the content. So that lets me have step 1 done. So now if we're going to look at step 2, it says open table customer. So if we look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables and 2 queries. So let's go ahead and open customer, and we're just going to stop for a minute and look at what the instructions are. What's the point of this? So the spa has been popular with resort clients. The owners have spent several months putting spa data into an Access database so that they can better manage the data. You have been asked to help show the staff how best to use the database to find information about products, services, and customers. For training purposes, not all spa records have been added yet. Once the staff has been trained, the remaining records will be imported into the database. So that's kind of where we're going with this. So we opened up table customer. We want to add a record at the bottom of the table using your last name, your first name, last name, address, city, state, and you can put fake stuff in there. That's fine. So we're going to use this arrow with the asterisk, and I'm going to put in first name, last name, and then just something. Right, so I just made up some dummy data here to put in that record. I used my name, but I put the dummy information in. So we have that done. So we can see how we enter data straight into the table. So now what we want to do is find and replace the last name of Erica Roca with Muir. Okay, so on this step, we want to find and replace the last name of Erica Roca with Muir. So first thing that I want to do is I want to be in the first record in the last name field. Then I'm going to come up here in the Home tab, Find Group, and click Replace. So I want to type in Find What, Roca, Replace with Muir, current field. So we're only going to look at last name, match the whole field. So then we're going to say find next. So it found the last name, but look, it's Emily. That's not the one we want to replace. We want to replace Erica. So we're going to do find next. There's Erica. So I'm going to go ahead and say replace. So we're done. There are no more last names of Roca. So we're going to say okay, close, and look, it changed it, right? So I started in last name field, so I just look at last name for the match. All right, so we're going to close that one down. So then we're going to talk about filters can be easily used to easily locate records that meet specific criteria in data sheet view. Oops, look, I still have a pencil. I'm going to click off of that. All right, using the text filter tool, display only customer addresses that begin with a P. Okay, text filter tool display only customer addresses that begin with a P. Save the table with the filter applied and close the table. Okay, so we're on step 4. Filters can be used to easily locate records that meet specific criteria in Datasheet View. Using the text filter tool, display only customer addresses that begin with P. So first of all, we need to be in the address field. So basically what we're looking for are these ones that have a PO. So I'm going to select the address column by clicking on the field name. I'm going to use the arrow to the right. Text filter begins with, and we're going to put the letter P. Right? So we're going to say OK. And then, sure enough, now we just have the customers who have PO boxes as their address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it says save the table with the filter applied. All right, and then close the table. So step number 5, which is changing the appearance of a table in Datasheet View, can make it easier to view the data. Modify table invoice to have a font size of 14, auto-fit all fields, change to an alternate row color and make that blue accent 5 lighter 60, autofill the column width so that all data is visible, and save and close the table. All right, so that is located. This is going to be on page 169 to 170 in your textbook. And we need to bring up the table invoice in Datasheet View. Okay. Have a font size of 14. So we're going to come over here, click on this 14. Notice I didn't really have to select anything. It made everything 14. Now I want to auto fit all my columns. So I'm going to go to that little box to the left, and then I'm going to go between any two columns and double click. It will size the columns so that they're all auto fit, that you can see everything. Okay, so then do you see how there's every other color is the light gray? We want to actually change that. So if we come up here, we're on the Home tab, very right, it's the alternate color. So we're going to use the drop down. Sorry, this up, and it is under theme colors. So we want to find blue accent 5. So that's over here, I think. Yeah, so the blue on the right, lighter 60. So we're going to just, it's that second one there. We're going to click on that, and then look, every other one is the blue color, right? So we have that. Auto fit column widths, we already did that. So we're going to save it and close it. So we are done with step 5. So step number 6, the spa receptionist wants to prevent multiple mailings to the same address. So we're going to use the Find Duplicate Query Wizard to create a query that will show duplicate customer addresses. So look for duplicate values in the customer address field. Include all available fields in the query and name it this. So in your book, it's 171 to 172. So we're going to create, so we're going to come up here to create. In query, we're going to pick the query wizard. This time, we're going to pick Find Duplicates. So choose which table or query do you want to search for duplicate field values. So that would be the table. So since we wanted to find customers, we want to pick table customer. What field might contain duplicate information? Customer address. Next. What fields do you want to include in addition to the duplicate value? We want them all. Next. And then here's our name. So we're going to do QRY duplicate addresses. Finish. So we have 2 people that have the same address. They live at the same place, so we would only need to mail one mailing to that address. So that's cool. So we're done with step 6. And we can close this out. All right, so step number 7, unmatched query wizard. All right, so that is going. So the unmatched query wizard is going to allow us to look in one table and find where that the primary key doesn't exist in a second table. So if we think about this, if we have customers, we might want to find customers who haven't scheduled any spa time, right? They're customers, but they haven't scheduled. So they would exist in the customer table, but that customer ID would not be in, see, so customers right there. That customer would not be in the schedule table. And so this unmatched query wizard is going to show us that. And that way, maybe we can reach out to them and say, hey, schedule your spa time, 15% off your first visit, kind of a thing. Okay, so we're going to begin this by create, and then it's a wizard. So it's the unmatched query wizard, right? So it's going to walk us through. It's a little more complicated than the duplicate, but so what table contains records that you want that actually exist? So that would be the customer. So you would pick the table that has the pieces of information that you want to try and find that don't exist in a second table. So we're going to pick customer here. And then this would be the screen where you pick, okay, go find in the second table where the primary key doesn't exist. And so that would be schedule. So we're going to go ahead and do next. So it's based on customer ID customer. That's the connector, and that's already defined because it's defined in your relationship. But you always want to just verify that. We're going to go ahead and do next. We want all the fields because it says include all fields. So we're going to do next. This is going to be called QRY customers without appointments, and finish. So here are 3 customers that exist in our database that have not scheduled a spa visit. So this would be a good way to reach out to them, get them their first appointment scheduled. So I'm going to go ahead and save that and close it, and I am done with step number 7. I'm going to do one more on this movie, and then we'll break it for a second movie for part A. So on this one, we're going to do a query just in design view, which is normally how you do your queries. So your spa manager wants a price list for all products. We're not doing any kind of qualification. We just want all of the products, some information about them. So we want size, product description, and price. No kind of where clause on it. So if I was asking this question, I would say, hey, can you show me size, product description, and price from table product? Boom. So we're going to begin that query in query design. First thing that we need to do is pick the table that we want, which is product. So we're going to double click on product and close the add table screen. We're going to open that up. I always like to show all of my, if I can, sometimes there's too many, but I like to show that. And I also like to bring my grid up. You don't have to do that. That's just me. So we want size, double click. It puts it down on the grid. Product description, double click. Price, double click. That's it. We're going to run it, and we get those 3 pieces of information for all 25 products. I'm going to go back to design, and I'm going to save it as QRY product price list. Okay. Close, and we're done with step 8, and we're done with this movie. I'll pick up movie 2 for part A in the next movie. All right, step 9 in the next movie. All right, thank you.